one story. I have few jokes and stories for you, which I never miss. I'll read out, it's a beautiful one line, one story. The owner of a hardware store is dismayed when a huge new hardware store opens up next door, erecting a large sign saying best deals. He is even more horrified with another huge hardware store opens up on the other side of his store, putting up even a larger sign saying lowest prices. The shopkeeper is panicked, then his spontaneity works. He has a bright idea. He puts a large sign over his own store saying main entrance. Understand? One idea solved his whole problem. I can say this one sutra can solve your whole problem. The problem which you have with experience and the experiencer. You also have two shops next to you, constantly bugging you, constantly nagging you. Many of our problems are from the object. Object not giving the quality of experience you wanted. That is one kind of problem. Means you think money will do something for you and that is not happening through the money. You think car will do something for you, that is not happening through the car. You think house will do something for you, that is not happening through that object. Understand? Car is useful to drive, home is useful to stay, refrigerator is useful to keep your food. But we have a wrong idea. All these things put together can give fulfillment to us. No. You cannot have fulfillment through that. So when you have the wrong expectation, the experience is not given by that object. That's one kind of problem. It's a preliminary level, first level. Second level problem, the same object which was giving the same experience which you really enjoy suddenly disappears, even though you are having the same object around you. This is the second subtle level problem. Third level problem, the same object not only not giving you the same joyful experience, giving you the negative experience. That is the third level problem. Patanjali beautifully solves all these three problems with this one sutra. Internalize this one sutra, meditate on this one sutra. Change your understanding on this one, based on this one sutra. The whole thing will be solved. Nothing needs to be bothered. Gunavaidrishinyam. All you need to understand. You can see, when you are in love, when your mind is supporting a particular person, suddenly you can see how your mind coins, even though you have some problems and complications, you go on arranging, no. He might have shouted at me yesterday, but he is very good at heart. No. He is not that kind of person. I think he was not in good mood yesterday. Your arguments, how you arrange your ideas inside, and how you justify yourself inside, because you feel some pleasure can be experienced through that person which you need. Very beautifully, one Upanishad says, you attract people in your life in the same frequency in which you are staying. Please understand. Many people come and tell me, Swamiji, I don't know, I always attract abusive people around me. No, look inside. You must be carrying that self-pity. You may be enjoying subtly, unconsciously, somebody abusing you. When people abuse, suddenly you have self-pity, you give attention to yourself. See, the mental setup becomes such, the society gives you attention only if you are suffering. Just yesterday I was reading a magazine in the flight. It says 83% of women exaggerate their pain or symptoms, and 76% of men exaggerate their pains and symptoms. Can you imagine? 83% means practically almost all the diseases and pains and sufferings are exaggeration. Because society goes on creating a mental setup. You are attended only if there is some repair. Otherwise not. So with this mental setup, your unconscious learns. It constantly creates the need for craving for the attention. When you don't have attention from others, you create a self-pity, sympathy. Only then you give attention to yourself. Otherwise, constantly you are attending the TV. Where is the time to attend yourself? So mind creates a self-pity. Please understand this self-pity mental setup. That is what I call hell. We have different kinds of hells. One is self-pity, guilt. Don't think hell is geographical. No, it is psychological. It is psychological. It is not geographical. We have different kinds of hells described in Garuda Purana. They say that there will be big oil well which will be boiling, you will be soaked inside, and a hot iron rod will be put inside your eyes. Now all these things are different mental depression you go through. I have studied thoroughly. I actually spent little time with that Garuda Purana and studied that hell descriptions. Please understand, if you go through a guilt, a deep guilt, in this region, the heart region, you will see something heavy, very heavy. And if you go through a self-pity, you will have every skin, every pore, you will have pain on every pore. The same thing only they are describing there. I actually saw for each sin what punishment they describe in that Garuda Purana. Please understand, our masters are so clear and their intelligence into the human consciousness is so thorough. For example, if you have done something which really creates a deep guilt in you, what kind of physical pain you will go through? Actually, every emotion creates particular kind of a pain in your body. So usually the guilt creates heaviness in this area. They give you the same, they describe the hell in a way that a big stone will be kept on your chest. The experience which you will go through with that emotion is graphically described. I can say they have made a cartoon. They made a cartoon. The graphic definition, the graphic expression of what you will go through is only the hell. That is what is hell. Maybe when you create that deep self-sympathy, you attract people constantly who abuse you. That is what Garuda Purana may be describing. All the demons will be around you, constantly poking at you. That is the hell that is the hell you will be put in if you create self-pity. And it's true, you will be creating that kind of hell around you. The first thing we need to understand, the first understanding which we need to have, Tripudi Bheda. In Vedanta we have this beautiful word, the Tripudi, the object experienced and the subject experiencer. and the experience happening between the two, all the three are not logically connected. Please understand, they do not function with any particular logic. Today, one person may create particular emotion in you. Tomorrow, the same person may create different emotion in you. You can see, it is just tipping only. This side you tip or that side you tip, that's all. Sometimes the same person, you start saying, oh, he did not do anything wrong to me, but somehow I didn't like his energy at all. I don't understand, what do you mean by the word energy? We have our own words. Another big problem. The moment you coin some words about some person, you have created a prison for you. After that, you will never be able to cross that word and have a direct connection with him. That's a huge problem. That's a big problem. Every day you will be facing in your life. The moment you create an idea about him, when you start creating idea, it may be very casual. It may be very casual. Afterwards you will see, you yourself will be bound by that idea. You yourself will be bound by that idea. And you go on and on and on and on building up that idea. We are all almost accountants in the life. First thing, you make an account. What is the profit or loss of his presence in my life? Then you create an idea. After that, you work with that idea, that's all. Please understand. Once you come to the conclusion, right, even if he is wrong, even if the situation is changed, you go on working with the same idea. If you think it is wrong, even if that person is going to add something to your life, you are not interested in looking at it. Not being open is the major problem we face in our life. Here, Patanjali solves that one problem very beautifully. He says, do not be attached to the experience happens in your being by particular person or by particular object. We are all accountants of our life. The big problem is we calculate with very less data. Very less data. First time you will be meeting that person, you have not even spent little time around him, you want to judge. I have seen. You just want to judge. You can't be, somehow the mind does not feel relaxed, settled without passing a judgment. Now that's a big problem. That's a very big problem we face. You can't be settled without passing a judgment about somebody. Whether it is positive or negative, you have to pass a judgment. You can't just be aware, be fresh, alive, aware, move around. No, that is too much. That is too much. We want something to be done immediately. Accountant mind. Accountant mind. I have one more story for you. A company director is interviewing candidates for an important position and decides to select the individual who can answer the question, how much is 2 plus 2? The first candidate is an engineer. He pulls out a slide rule and shows, oh, the answer is 4. The second candidate is a lawyer. He states that in case of Jones PR, 2 plus 2 was proven to be 4. So here is also 4. The final candidate is an accountant. When asked, what is 2 plus 2? The accountant slips out of his chair, checks to see if anyone is listening at the door, then whispers, did you have a particular number in mind? Understand? We are all accountant, constantly trying to look inside, constantly trying to pass judgment, and we don't live with the reality. We don't look into the reality. That is what Patanjali says, Gunavaidrishinyam. He says, do not be attached to the qualities created by you, created inside you by some object or person. If you are attached, please understand, you can look inside your life. The same person sometimes creates so much joy in you, and you feel, God, I am so fortunate to have this person in my life. And you go on adding all the positive things about that person. You feel your whole life is heaven. You are in heaven. Everything is green, rosy, beautiful, joyful, enjoying. Suddenly you see, when that love is lost, when that connection is lost, when that touch is lost, you start building your arguments this side. Oh, no, how long I can be suffocating? It is too much, enough is enough. And moreover, the big problem is we have all these ready-made words inside us. All you need is just tip this side. All these words are waiting. No, really. I am so fortunate. People ask me, Swamiji, how do you work so many hours? If you see the website, you can see, if you see our website, every day somewhere or other I am speaking or conducting programs. They ask me, how do you work so many hours, Swamiji? You travel so much continuously, day in and day out. Per year at least 100,000 miles I fly and 100,000 miles I drive. They ask me, how do you do? Only one reason. I am so fortunate to be born and brought up in an Indian village where I have not been taught all these big words. Too much is in my plate. I am swamped by work. I am stressed out. No, there is no difference between your inner space and my inner space. The only one difference. I am born and brought up in an Indian village. Fortunately, all these words are not taught to me. No, really, that is the only difference. Of course, cities of India has gone, that they are no more part of India. See, India is not a geographical land, it's way of life. Bharat is way of life. It is not just the land.